All right. Good morning. Let's go. Wiggy, 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 wiggy. Wiggy, 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 wiggy. Oh, hey Adonis. How you doing, bud? Oh, I haven't been to Twitter. I haven't been to Facebook. I don't want to see the reactions. I'm not. I've had my share of. I've had my share of. I can't imagine. Let's just leave it at that. So, as a reminder, for anybody who catches the replay, I know there's only a few of you here. Tonight's game stream will be a benefit for Nick from Twisted Wrister and Cortana, his dog. She tore the ACL. She tore her second ACL. And so everything's going to be, they're raising money for her surgeries, excuse me, and her rehab and everything. And all the information. We'll have a scroll ticker so you guys can donate. But any donations on that stream tonight will be going to Nick from Twisted Wrister. Hey, Jason, how you doing, bud? Chopper, how's it going? Kyle's actually up. Kyle's in the shower. It's nice. Now, let's see. Hold on a second. Let's see if my computer knows where I am today. It says 51 and sunny. Now, is that accurate? Where does my computer think I am today? Oh, my computer knows that. Hey, all right, my computer's got me in the right spot. My computer knows where I live. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Did I see the boys at the Whiskey Hotel? No, I did not. No, I did not. I'm reading what you're saying, Adonis. I'm trying to figure out, trying to act like he's letting immigrants into the White House, specifically Canadians. Interesting. Well, so Chopper, how are we looking for tonight? And Chopper says Washington scares you. Yeah. I wouldn't say scared. I would say that I don't know how significant our motivation is going to be. I'm sure we want to see how we match up against them, right? But it's not like we're even worried if we're going to get first place in the conference or anything like that. So, I mean, we're too far behind to even be thinking about that. So, we've been linked to Donato from Chicago and Jake Evans. Chopper says no Jake Evans. You know, I get it, Adonis. I do. Inevitably, Adonis, if I say anything political, I get people asking me to not say anything political. So it doesn't matter what point of view I portray. People don't want to hear it. So I've learned to keep my mouth shut. That's I'm glad the boys got to go to the White House. I guess there's no real question where Chucky stands, so we'll put it that way, right? And let's beat the crap out of Washington tonight. I'm sure Washington may be more motivated. Not that we won't be motivated, but Washington is going to bring their A game tonight. I'm sure. We'll put it that way. I mean, we're 9 points out, so first place in the conference isn't really going to make a difference. And like I said, if we end up against the Capitals in the Eastern Conference Finals and it goes to Game 7, we're gonna tie all four kayaks together, and we'll make a raft like Tom Hanks did in Castaway. And we'll bring something that we'll bring Billy instead of Wilson. We'll bring Billy with us, and we'll just float over there and go to Game 7. Right? What could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Well, it's really windy out there. If my internet flickers, we've got like 35-mile-an-hour winds outside. Greg says caps on the mini skid, so they'll be fired up. Yeah, they're going to want to see how they match up, right? They're going to want to see how they match up. No shock there. Just make it a good game. We assume Bobrovsky, right? And don't give the Capitals any idea that the Eastern Conference Finals would be easy. We'll put it that way. Let them know that we are. They have to go through us. They're going to have to get through us. And just don't hurt Ovi. Don't hurt Ovechkin. That's not okay. Don't hurt anybody, but you know what I mean. Hey, Andrew. Chopper says Brant Clark and Jake Evans on the Panthers would feed families. We're linked to all these people, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I've said this before, it reminds me of back in the day when the Dolphins with Stephen Ross we were linked to everybody. Every year, all the free agents, it was like we hear this one. And a lot of times it's just the agents releasing stuff to try to drum up interest in their client. Hey, Jameson, how you doing, bud? Says, happy to see the members podcast back, not the same without the dogs. I know. Trust me. The hope is that if I can get the doggy daycare going, even if I only have one dog a day, a few times a week, I'll just pop outside with whatever dog I have and record that way. You know what I mean? And it could be interesting, right? Because by the time I was doing the podcast outside with the dogs, they were older, so they weren't super duper active. So if I could get a couple young ones active in the yard during the show, that could be fun. Greg says, yeah, agent stuff to pump up pay for their guy. Yep. They used to do that with the Dolphins all the time, man. Because everybody knew Ross was stupid and he'd overpay. Now it's different with the Panthers, but in the sense that we're not going to overpay, but people know that guys would want to come here. Hey, Simon says, how do I think the Panthers will do up into the Four Nations Cup, in my opinion? Well, we got who's the one in the middle? I know we got Washington and I know we got Ottawa. Oh, by the way, Magda won her match the other day or yesterday. Magda won her match, so she moves on in that tournament. So we've got Washington. Oh, then we got the Blues, and then the Senators. To be honest, if I know the Panthers, they'll beat Washington, they'll beat the Senators, and lose to the Blues. That sounds about right. Meadow says, Ryan Donato and Jake Evans both will likely be 4C. Why doesn't he go get Achari? It's a trick. It's diversion. It's a deflection. They're going to put that out there so that the Penguins call us and say, hey, wouldn't you want Achari back? What can you give us? I'm telling you, Achari would work. Damn it. Let's get Cookie a cup, right? Yeah, Vincent wants to know if we're getting an evil defenseman. Yeah, that's what we need, but an upgrade at 4C won't hurt, even if it's just a guy off the bench. We have nothing off the bench right now. You know what I mean? No, it's okay, man. No problem, bud. It's not that. It's only been 10 minutes. 9, really. We have nothing off the bench. We literally have to get a guy. Whether or not he's going to take Nosek off the ice or not is irrelevant. We need a veteran. We got nothing. Quite literally, I'm the bench. You and me, anybody watching, we're the bench right now. Anybody got skates? I mean, that's where we are. Chopper says league's going to get a huge salary cap boost in the next 3 years. We could literally give Bennett what he wants. Sign Bornfoot, sign Samoskevich, and whatever trade deadline addition we take. Ekblad equals pay cut. Yeah. Well, when you look at the cap going up and you look at what Reinhart took, I'm just saying. Look at, and I know Rantanen's got more points. I understand that. But what they're talking about with Rantanen is maybe $14 million. And what did Sam Reinhart take? What did Sam Reinhart take? Sam Reinhart contract. That's what I thought, like $8.5 million, right? 8 points. So the point I'm trying to make is that is Rantanen worth $5-6 more million a year than Sam Reinhart? I'm gonna throw my hat into the ring with the no route there. Yeah, I saw that. Panthers are hiring for a new mascot. That would be Kyle's job. Kyle's young enough to do that. Yeah. Meadow says apparently there's this guy in Utah called Stenlund. I wonder if he has any potential. Right? Has that ever happened before? Has a guy ever won a cup with a team, left, got traded back to the old team, and won a cup again? I mean, there's so few teams that have won twice in a row. The odds are probably pretty slim. Let's try to make history, Bill. I know you're watching. Craig says any pickups they need to be mobile, good skaters, and sound defensively. Any center or forward. Right. What do I think will happen in the NHL trade deadline in March? So I think the Panthers are going to do up to then, and they're so we have to get another 4C and at least one defenseman. I mean, you would think that's the minimum, right? You've got to get another center. You have to get. I mean, forget the guys that are on the ice. Forget anybody that we want to upgrade over. We have to get another center and a defenseman just because there's nobody off the bench right now, right? I mean, even forget wanting to replace anybody. Gadjevich is our bench. So there's moves that are going to be made. How we're going to fit it all is going to be interesting. I mean, we're going to have to pay teams to keep the salary. We're going to have to overpay for guys just to get the teams to eat the salary. I says, any thoughts on the Utah Hockey Club new name ideas? I mean, Yeti was nice. How do they not know? Like, how do they not know going into it? Why did it take so long to know that they couldn't get the copyright to Yeti? You know? And I know Sasquatch isn't exactly a Yeti, but Utah Sasquatch sounds pretty good. Honestly, of the names that I heard, I would just leave it Hockey Club. Of the names that I heard, I would kind of just leave it Hockey Club. Okay. So I said Claude Lemieux won the cup in 95, left for the Avs. Years later was traded back to the Devils and won again in 2000. Gotcha. Hey, JC. Chopper says, rumor has it that Gadjevich will fight Tom Wilson tonight. Is Sam Miskevich still sick? You are a Hockey Club, right? Is Sam Miskevich still sick? Have we seen anything on that? Did Barkov give him the 2-week flu? Damn it, Barkov. Come on, man. Jeez, Kyle's in there emptying the hot water. He's been in the shower the whole stream. No wonder I got an $800 electric bill. Anybody want a kid? I'm going to adopt him out. He eats too much, takes too much electricity. What are you doing in there? Okay, thank you, Vincent. Sam was a practice. All right, that's good. So then that would take Gadjevich off the ice, right? our whole big bad bench of Jonah Gadjevich and nobody else. So, oh, did you guys see Hartman? 10 games. And on the members podcast, I go over some of the lists of some of the longer suspensions that have been in the NHL. I forget the dude's name. Was it Chris Wilson? Was that the dude's name? One dude got suspended for 30 games in December and then came back in the middle of March and immediately did something else that he got suspended for 25 games. I think the guy's name was Chris Wilson, but I'm remembering it off the top of my head. It wasn't that long ago. It was in the 2000s. It was Bettman. The Utah Kyles. Steven says, absolutely, I'm no lawyer, but I don't understand how they can't be the Yeti. How can someone trademark the name use of a mythical creature? Well, it's the Yeti, the drinking stuff, the mugs and the thermoses and stuff. Isn't that what the problem is? Yeah. Craig says Utah variant jersey should stay. Hockey club with a Yeti, a mammoth, and an outlaw all in the logo, right? Adonis with Sam Darnold. JC says Gadget can't fight anymore. His next fight will put him out of commission. Don't get me wrong, we need him to be that guy, but as an individual, he needs to be smart. Yeah. Hey, Simon. We haven't been getting to the gym as much as I haven't, or I have. I get to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. I'd like to get there more, but it's so cold outside. It's hard to get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's 18 degrees outside. Motivation is thin at 6 in the morning when it's 18. Colin and I are going. We're going. There's some woods down the road. It's a natural, not national preserve, whatever the hell it is. We're going for a hike because it's like almost going to be 60 degrees, and it's nice and windy. Get some sun. Oh, Chopper, I don't do. He asked how much I can bench. I don't do heavy weight. When I was in the military, I was in bodybuilding shows, and I was benching a heavy amount. I think it was 306, and my glove ripped, or whatever it was. No, I weighed 206. It was whatever it was 300 and something. Anyway, the glove in my left hand ripped, and my hand slid just enough to where I lost everything, and everything slid that way. And I tore all of this terribly. I walked out. I could lift my arm, but my pec didn't move. So since then, I've always only done lightweight with high reps. Lightweight with high reps. Because my it healed and there's really not any issues there, but I feel it in my collarbone. I always have since then when I do the heavy lifting. So I wasn't doing shows anymore, so it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to do the heavy lifting anymore because I adjusted my the way I was lifting, and so then my collarbone would hurt, my left wrist would hurt. It just didn't make any sense to do it heavy anymore. Yeah, the Yeti would have been cool, man. I know. The Yeti would have been cool. Yeah, I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my fingers. What movie? What movie? What movie? Anybody knows that movie? It's freaking hysterical. I forget the dude's name. I forget the actor's name. Was it No, I don't think it was Absolute Cinema. I don't think I remember the movie. I'm asking what's the name. I don't remember the name. Let me clarify. I remember the movie. I don't remember the name. The actor it's the old dude that in the he played the vampire in that series. Yeah, Bill Nye. Yeah, thank you, Vincent. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Vincent. Yeah. Oh my God. That movie was Love Actually. Thank you, Vincent. Yeah. That was freaking fantastic. If you've never seen that movie, it's worth it. He's fantastic in that movie. Yeah, I know the dude is old. He plays like an aging rock star, and his comeback hit is like some horrible Christmas song that they have him singing. And that's part of the lyrics to the song is I feel it in my bones, I feel it in my fingers. Christmas is all around me and the feeling lingers. And it's so bad. It's so bad. But the movie is fantastic. He does an excellent job. But the fact that he's old, it works. He play, it works. Good call, Vincent. That was good. It's in The Father of the Bride too. Gotcha. I don't know if I saw that or not. But I remember seeing Love Actually back when I used to watch movies all the time. That was my ex-wife's big thing. Was every night she'd get drunk about 9:30. We all had to sit and watch a movie with her, or she'd get pissed off at us. And then we'd all fight for a half hour what movie to watch. And then 2/3 of the way through, she'd say, "That's it, I'm done. I'm going to bed," and leave us downstairs to watch the rest of the new movie when we didn't want to do it in the first place. It was good times. It was fantastic. It's beautiful. That's my rant. My rant is over. Hey, True, how you doing, brother? Yeah, and the feeling grew. Oh, now I'm gonna have to watch that movie, Vincent. I'm sure there's a clip of it on YouTube somewhere. Are the Panthers back? Meadow, ask me after this week. I mean, the games that we've won have been great. We've looked like ourselves, but consider the competition, right? Consider the competition. Now, if we look that way against Washington and Ottawa, then yeah, I would say that my theory is they looked at the calendar, they saw that they were going to have the 2 nights off twice, and they looked at the schedule and they said, okay, for this period of time leading up to the break, let's give ourselves a go. Let's really play, more like 85 to 90% of our capacity instead of the 60 we've been given, and just start the engine, see how it runs, see how it looks. And it also is good because it kind of shows you your weaknesses. And when the rest of the team is really humming, Nate Schmidt really stands out. I hate to say it. I hate to put it that way. But when the team is playing fast, Schmidt really kind of stands out as a sore, like a sore thumb. So Schmidt off the bench in the playoffs, if he has fresh legs, I'll be okay with that. But there's no way. I don't want to say there's no way. I would be shocked, beyond shocked, if we actually could win the cup again with Nate Schmidt on the ice every night in the playoffs. We would be winning despite him, unfortunately. Yeah, tonight we'll tell the time. Hi, Alechka. Says, just as I thought I couldn't love Chucky anymore. He's a Patriot too. Amazing. Panthers are America's team. I don't know if we're America's team. Not to discount what you're saying, but, well, maybe for Americans, not for Canadians. Yeah, maybe for American hockey fans, and not so much for the Canadian hockey fans, which is still like, what percentage? This is a good question for y'all. What percentage? Samos is still out, Vincent? Damn it. What the hell did Barkov do to this kid? God dang it. Damn it. I wanted to see Sam Miskevich against some of this top competition. Thanks, Vincent. Let's just, I don't care about Canada. What was I saying? Oh, my question. In your guys' opinion, I mean, I guess you could Google it. What percentage of the hockey fan base do you feel is Canadian versus American? And I know there's other countries, but I'm just talking about those two specifically. Like, would you say, do you think it's like maybe 70% Canadian? Do you think it's that far skewed, or do you think it's maybe even more than that? I know it says, yeah, I think most of America has hated us since last year. I know this, iDog. If we win again, we are the Chiefs. I mean, think about it. If we win again, and now Chucky has come out obviously on one side of the fence. If we win again, we are going to be the Chiefs. Jason, you think 60-40? All right. That's not too far off. Right? Just prepare yourself. Yeah. Greg says, especially if they beat Vegas, right? Yeah. Lil J says, got to keep the politics out of the White House visit, but booing the national anthem is discussed. Did that happen? Oh, did that happen in Canada? Did they boo the national anthem? Todd was telling me something happened, but I didn't get the details. Sometimes when I hear something I don't want to hear, I just la 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 la. They came to a deal though, right? In Nashville? Wait, so who booed whose national anthem? Did Canadian fans boo our national anthem? Who did they play? Yeah, no, Vincent, I understand that. I left room for them. I just was wondering what percentage is still Canadian. Jeez. Preds fans booed Sens. Oh, that's not okay. No, we don't need to do that. Why we got to do that? People are stupid. What do you want? Right? We all do stupid shit sometimes. And then if one person does stupid shit, then we join in and we all do stupid shit. And then we look back and we're like, that was stupid shit. Right? You know? I mean, like, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't need to tell that story here. Yeah, the Finns and Russians care too. I hear what you're saying, Vincent. I get it. Well, leave it to the Panthers to be the first ones to visit the new administration. That's all I can say. That's I don't know what they've said on Twitter or Facebook. Metal says Americans have always booed the Canadian anthem. Was disrespectful. Canadians only just started doing it. Also wrong, but I can see where they're coming from. Well, they made a deal though, right? Didn't he stop the terrorists for 30 days until, I mean, it's all just a negotiating ploy. You know what I mean? It's all just a very public negotiation ploy. And it works. What are you going to do? You know? It's like, think of politics as your wife or your girlfriend. And if she discovers a way that she can manipulate you and eventually you give in and give her what she wants, why would she stop? Why would she stop doing it? You know what I mean? It's no different than it's just real life on TV. You know? Now, if he wants to fix the problem, What we need to do is clone some more chickens because the eggs at my store are $11.50 for 18 eggs. Eggs are supposed to be the cheap food that I buy to make the other stuff go longer. So instead of a chicken lasting me 3 meals, it lasts me 5 because I have chicken and eggs instead of just chicken. But the freaking eggs, I mean, it's like a contest to see how high they can go. Let's clone some damn chickens. I'll eat clone chicken eggs. It's the same thing, right? Let's just clone some damn chickens. That's something we could do, right? Can you imagine open up American cloning chicken farms? Problem solved. It gives jobs, helps the economy, and we get cheaper eggs. I fail to see what the problem is. Then you can have a special chicken clone crypto, right? See, it's easy. You could have a YouTube channel with cameras inside the facility for the chicken clone channel. There's all sorts of revenue streams you could do with that. Let's go. Who wants to open up a chicken cloning factory with me? Huh? No? No takers? Vincent says politics is a dirty word. Don't bring that shit home, Maker Bay. Oh, man. Yeah, Metal says, anyway, on a lighter note, do you think Swaggy is coming back to form? I do believe so. I do believe he is. I think I think he's back to being Swaggy and not Swiggy. We knew it eventually was going to happen, right? But of course, it took Maurice putting him back up there with Barkov and Reinhardt. And so now we're set. We're set there. Once Samoskevich isn't sick anymore, that really pisses me off. It's got to be Barkov's fault. It's got to be Barkov's fault. Damn it. I really wanted to see him against some of this top competition. Hopefully he's better for Ottawa, right? You know, you want Maurice to have a good picture of how the kid's going to look. And all due respect to Jesper Boquist, you know, just not quite as fast. Exactly, Lil J. He says he just wasn't putting the puck in, and now he is. Eventually, those shots were going to start going in. iDog says, I thought we blame Ekblad for everything defensively. Everything that happens defensively is Ekblad's fault, including Nate Schmidt. Because if Ekblad was really a true team player, Ekblad would have come to the team and said, look, I'm too slow. Put me on the bottom pair. Get somebody to replace me on the top pair. I'll take a pay cut. You don't have to go get Nate Schmidt. I'll go to the bottom pair. At least we know Ekblad has it's the word I'm looking for, stamina. We know Ekblad has the stamina. Poor Nate Schmidt looks like he's smoking, like during the games, it looks like he's literally smoking a pack of cigarettes. I feel bad for the dude. Which is interesting because Schmidt has played for Maurice before, but it appears as though Schmidt didn't really. It doesn't look as though he upped his game over the summer, especially early in the season. You could tell he was really gassed. I don't think Schmidt thought, oh, I signed with Florida. I know what Maurice is going to do. I know I've got work to do to catch up to these guys. So let me get in ridiculous shape over the summer. It don't look like that's what happened. It looks like he was kind of at the bar eating the peanuts and having a margarita every once in a while and smoking cigars, and then showed up to camp kind of like Babe Ruth used to do and just be like, yeah, I still hit the ball out of the park. I'm making shit up now. Metal says Swaggy's been good against the Caps historically. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Craig says he does have a killer tan, though. Vincent, yeah, Boquist was 4C before Schmidt. Remember, Schmidt started the season, not Schmidt. Nosek. Nosek started the season hurt. Boquist was at 4C, and it looked pretty good. It did kind of look pretty good. I don't know how he did in the faceoff circle, but it was Greer, Boquist, and was it Gadjevich? I believe that's what we started off with. And it was fast. It was a fast line, obviously, but then Boquist started scoring and got moved up. So technically, I mean, we have the centers on the roster if something happens to Nosek, but you still have no forwards to bring in other than Gadjevich in the playoffs. And I mean, honestly, the guy in the AHL with the most experience that we could bring up is Zach Dalpe, I think. Vincent says Schmidt wasn't prepared, nor is he now. Chopper, I would think Swaggy's showing up tonight. I think he's back. He looks good. Chucky's looking more like himself. Bennett looks a little bit more like himself. We got to get Barkov some goals. I mean, I know we got one the other night. Barkov needs to shoot more. He probably leads the team in shots while I'm saying that. But it just seems like so many times he carries the puck in and the defense will back off of him and he'll still pass the puck. I wish he would shoot more. Even 1 times out of 10, I wish he would shoot more. Simon, you'll do the chicken thing with me? I think it's a great idea. It would solve so many problems, right? And then, it's just a perpetual, endless supply of chicken. Would you guys have a problem eating clone chicken? I mean, they sell 3D printed steaks now. I'm pretty sure we had some too. Karen used to order meat through different companies, it'd show up at your house box and frozen and everything. And a couple of times we got steaks that were pretty perfect. I mean, the edges were perfect. It was perfectly flat top. It kind of looked like they've been 3D printed. iDog says, we're bringing up Dalpe be such a bad thing, though he was fine in that cup run 2 years ago. I'm not saying he's bad, but we got to have more. And honestly, iDog, we have to bring in somebody that we get from elsewhere because we need the other team to retain the salary. We don't have room to bring up our guys from the AHL in the cap unless we do it right during the playoffs. I can't imagine that that's the plan. I mean, you look at how we used Okposo and Lorentz off the bench last year, and that tells me that Maurice or Zito is going to go get some guys. There's literally nothing there. Meadow says Barkov is 7th in shots. Yeah, he needs to be shooting more. Greg says, am I sure we're not already? No, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I ate 3D printed steak. I'm fairly certain I ate 3D printed steaks. They were too perfect. Swaggy and Bennett Lee with 165. Agree with you there, Chopper, about the Chucky deflection goals. Vince says Barkov is the best sniper on this team. He's just not in the mood. You're never in the mood. Maybe he's saving it for the playoffs, right? It's frustrating. I mean, it helps Reinhardt out, right? Reinhardt's like, thanks for getting me paid, Barkov. But the defense doesn't even challenge him. They back off. It is what it is. Craig says that meat glue is some weird stuff. That too. Yeah, no doubt. Who knows what we're eating, man? Who knows what we're eating? But it'd be pretty hard to fake eggs. That you can't fake. I mean, $9.50 a dozen. Come on, man. Jesus. It's going to be $1 an egg before this is over. True says, I've seen that 3D printed meat. Now all the meat and chicken seems fake. Well, you could tell with the chicken. You could tell with the chicken when you cook it. Because the meat's nothing like it used to be. And they're so big. I mean, you get some breasts that are easily 2.5 inches thick. Hey, Caitlin, Barkov goal tonight? Yeah. Hopefully we've bitched about him enough, right? Meadow says also, can we stop trying to find Reinhardt in the slot in the power play while he's being hounded by 4 dudes? I know. We were screaming at the TV last time. It's like he's not open. He's not open. Metal. Oh my God. Metal says chef store and cut your own. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people around here will do that with deer. They'll just take a deer, and then there's guys that'll butcher it. At least you know what you're eating. And I'm not a fan of deer. I could eat it if I had to, but it's a bit gamey for me. Yeah, True says chicken on steroids. It's true, man. Jason says Barkov owes us 2 goals, one for getting Samo sick, right? Come on, man. That's 3 games. He better not be sick the rest of the way. Although, can you imagine if he was? You know how rested he's going to be after the break? That kid's going to have fresh legs. That is one good thing about the long break. The guys that are not playing, Samoskevich is going to be like lightning compared to everybody else when we come back from that break. Fly Guy says about Barkov, he just needs to shoot instead of trying to get everyone else on his line goals. Yeah, just give me one out of 10 opportunities more, and it would work too, because the goalie would be so shocked that he shot instead of passed, you might beat him easier. Chopper says Barkey wants to be the new Kachuk, where he feeds everyone with goal-leading passes. Yeah. Well, at least the guys that he's passing to now are putting the puck in the back of the net. Reinhardt is almost on pace for the same thing. He should still get more than 50. And we didn't even pay him $9 million. We didn't even pay him $9 million. I wonder if any of these guys, now looking at how far the cap is going to go up, right? I mean, when you look at that for the Panthers, though, the only guys in the top 6 that we need to sign are Bennett and Samoskevich. And between the 2 of them, it's not even going to be $10 million, right? Between the 2, and that's pushing it. Don't take me wrong. But I'm just saying that between those 2, honestly, between Bennett, Samoskevich, and Boquist, it might still not even be $10 million. So we're going to have money to spend on defense. Maybe not so much this year, but the following year, with the cap going up and the possibility of moving on from Ekblad's contract, and Bob certainly not going to get re-signed for $10 million. We're going to have money to play with, right? Yeah. Let's get Montour and OEL back. Right? Chopper says, Barkey, whatever 1996 Cup run you watch, you're not Brian Screwlin, my guy. Fly Guy says, get 2 or 3 rings and your endorsements will bring so much more than the annual salary. Oh, that's true. That is true. Absolutely. Or you do like Marino did, where you open up things. Marino wasted a lot of his money. Some of the money that these guys made, like Tua makes more in a year. Tua almost makes more in a year than Marino made his entire career. Right? Craig says, yeah, and top guys begging to be a cat. No, exactly, Craig. And we only have the best GM in the league to do it. That was really good news, though, with that cap going up like that. because when's Barkov's contract up? That's the only question. Let me see. Alexander Barkov contract. How many more years? He signed an 8-year deal. Let me put on my glasses and see when this. It's through. Jeez, it's through 29-30. He's signed. I mean, so Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Chucky, you re-sign Bennett, you give Sam Eskevic. I mean, the whole top six. The whole top six is just like, and we're going to have all this money. I'm just saying, you're going to be able to get like, we're going to have 2 second lines because we're going to be able to pay for Lundell to have some serious line mates. Unless, of course, guys like Sordif or Sachin or St. Martin start coming in and looking good. What are we going to do with all the money? I bet your Spencer Knight's happy about that, right? That kid, what are you going to pay him? Metal says, hey, Pente. Metal says, what year do I think St. Martin and Sachin will get their first ice time? I think some of that depends on if we win the cup again this year. Like if you win again this year, they may I mean, who's next though, too? Are they going to jump Sordif? Right? I mean, one of them is going to be on the ice next year, I would say. But it just depends on where Maurice is going to want to play him. Right? If we just laid out the top six is set and signed, Vincent says 2030. You think it'll take that long for Sachin too? Chopper says, a little bird told me that the Panthers are going to let Ekblad go in the offseason. Bob will retire after winning his second cup, and we're going to be signing Mikko Rantanen. Holy shit. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Where's Rantanen going to go? Yeah, we can't pay Rantanen. We can't pay him. I mean, and what I mean by we can't pay him is our salary structure would be just completely destroyed. Can't, and where? Right? I mean, what are you going to do? Let Bennett go? Rantanen, Barkov, Reinhart. That's too much money, though. That's too much money to put him on that side. When you already got Verhaeghe there, it almost was going to be half the price, right? Yeah, I mean, Rantanen can't. It's too much when you consider what we got Reinhardt for. No, I wouldn't be surprised if we let Ekblad walk. That's a whole different thing. JC says, I told Ekblad he can't captain his boat if he leaves Florida. His response was, they give me an offer, any offer, I'm signing. Right. And that might be accurate, JC. Oh, sure, he's better than Swaggy, but well, in terms of numbers. See, you guys disagree, but either way, yeah, I agree with Fly. You can't blow up the formula. It wouldn't make any sense to blow up the offensive guys we have right now. Defense. But now who, if you got to replace Ekblad, would that help Forsling, right? Would it help Forsling if he wasn't having to make up for Ekblad's mistakes or slowness anyway? It might keep Forsling a little bit fresher. JC, you told him that on Saturday before the game. He laughed and responded with the. So wait, so you're saying JC JC, are you saying that was real? You saw him at warmups and said that, or are you having dreams of talking to Ekblad? Fly says Ekblad needs to go to the bottom pair. Would he do it? Would he do it? Right? That's the question. Chopper says, I don't care. Let's get a Zamboni e-bug driver for our second goalie. Yeah, I think what we were talking about, Pente, was maybe like 3 times 4. I mean, you can get away with $4 million with him, but we need to get somebody else to be next to Forsling. I see. Gotcha, JC. So wait, he really said that? If they give me an offer, any offer, I'm signing. Wow. Very interesting. Huh. Well, that tells you a lot, doesn't it? That says a lot. That says a lot. Huh. Well, why not too, right? I mean, he's already made money, right? He's been making 7.5 all these years. So if that's his mindset, sure. If that's his mindset that he wants to stay and he's not worried about the money, that he could stay, sure. But you don't have to play him too cheap. Give him 3 years at $3 million and say, get to the bottom pair. And if you still can walk at the end of the 3 years, we'll consider giving you another 2 years. Right? Because what is he, 29? Will he sign for? Yeah. Bring him, JC, bring him one of my shirts. Bring him a Flying Fluffy hockey shirt and tell him this is your contract bonus. My phone knows who I'm talking about. The phone already so he's only 28. He's only 28. It's just the injuries, obviously, have taken their toll. Yeah, it'd be a sweet deal, right? You got free parking because there's no one to pay, and you get out a ton of autos. Nice. Yeah, well, we'll get him a. Now, here's the question. Should I? This is really bad. This is really terrible. But what if I created a shirt and it was just an eggplant with the number 5 on it? That's kind of an evil. That's an evil deal. But if we did that and then we presented him with the eggplant shirt, you think that would be the final nail in this? He'd probably be pissed. I know. I'll make the eggplant big. I'll make it big, right? JC says, I gave Bob a figure like the one I showed you, and he was like, this is for me. He was shocked. Then he gave you a stick after the game. Sweet, man. Fly, I know he didn't like the parking going comment, but he forgave that dude. Oh, my God. Make a shirt with an eggplant shoved into a tipped over traffic cone. Oh my God. Oh my God. He forgave him because he got a ring and he was drunk. I know, Fly. Tell him it's a gift from his favorite friend, Bookscope. Hey, Simon. Oh boy, Simon. That's something I'll do. maybe it's hard to say because I usually will wait until after the trade deadline, because where guys are going to go does end up getting affected by where they get traded to now. I generally don't look too much at the upcoming free agents until we know who's been traded where. Case in point, how everything went down with Gensel last year. So yeah, I'll start looking at that, but after the trade deadline, right? Yeah, I mean, bringing the traffic cone. Now, if they were friends, Lil J, if that's like, Brady rubbing, ribbing on Matthew, or if they're buds and they're friends and he's just giving them shit, okay. But for one professional athlete to do that to another in public, I agree. Even for me, that was a bit much, right? So now the other thing that we could do is you all could bring eggplants to the game, and then if Ekblad scores, throw the eggplant on the ice. But then we get a penalty. Shit. That would suck. JC says E-Rod calls this car there the Green Machine. Greer has a beautiful classic car. Barkov pulled up in the skyline. Probably Reinhardt with the yellow Ferrari. Reinhardt seems to be a Ferrari kind of guy. Like the guy that doesn't look like it, but then he'd be doing 120 somewhere in the middle of nowhere. He's got that unassuming look to him, like he would just show up in a Ferrari. Any of them have Lamborghinis down there, or is it all Ferraris? Right, Chopper? Yeah. Yeah. JCC said, not the classic Skyline. Barkey loves speed. If I recall correctly, he got a speeding ticket in Finland, right? Lil J says it'd be cool to bring the Rats back in the 96. Yeah, unfortunately, they changed the rule after that season where you can't, that's where that rule came from. You can't throw stuff on the ice in the middle of the game. Like if somebody throws one octopus or one rat, it's not the end of the world, but you're not technically supposed to do what we did back then. Not allowed to do that anymore. JC, Bob's got the Lamborghini. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They had the Orkin crew and all of that. At least the league didn't change the rules on us in the middle of the year. You know what I mean? I'll never forget. I believe it was Barrasso hit in the net. That was something else. I remember hiding. I think it was Barrasso hiding in the net. It's on YouTube. So, all right, everybody, got to roll. Kyle and I are we're gonna go out hiking now tonight. Tonight on the game stream, I made a post about this, but I'll let you guys know here. You guys all know Nick from Twisted Wrister. His dog Cortana tore her ACL. That's the second one she's torn in a couple of years. She's not getting any younger. So he's raising money to help pay for the surgery and the rehab and all of that. So all of the super chats for tonight's stream will be going to Nick from Twisted Wrister so that he can help rehab with Cortana. There will be links to donate through PayPal and I believe Venmo, so that he doesn't lose the 30% if you want to donate that way. He's got jerseys for sale, and he's going to be helping us out. He's going to be on the stream during the intermissions and everything. So just trying to get him a little bit of extra cash, because it's the surgery and everything alone is like $6,300. And, I've twice had to heal my dogs from ACL tears without surgery. And so we're trying to get Cortana healed up so that she can go back to running around while she's still young enough to do it. Because as we all know, they don't last forever. Hey, Rosado, last thing. I talked to Magda this morning. She won last night. Magda won yesterday. Close Close match. All right. Appreciate all the support. And members podcast should be out in about a half hour. No audio problems today. Other than that, I will see you all tonight